In which organization do bass fishing professional anglers make more money? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. If you're new, my name is Steve Chapman. Where do anglers make more money? Is it on the Bassmaster Elite Series or is it on the Bass Pro Tour with Major League Fishing? Before I get started, I just want to say thank you to Carrie and Andrew for the amazing email and just checking on me. I really do appreciate it. You guys are amazing brothers, and I can't say thank you enough. Where do the top 10 anglers make the most money? You have to remember or put in place, the elites have 9 tournaments every season. They also have the Classic. The Bass Pro Tour in Major League Fishing has 7 stages. They also have the Red Crest, they have the Heavy Hitters, and they have the Team Trail. Now, if you qualify for the Classic, it's a free tournament. If you qualify for Heavy Hitters, Red Crest, or the Team Challenge, those are free events for the anglers, which they get paid for. There's a minimum payment. In this video, I am not adding up any free events. So the Classic, the Red Crest, the Heavy Hitters, and the Team Challenge, this is going on right now, is not included in this income. This is from the main stages or the main tournaments that go on Bass Pro Tour and the Bassmaster Elites. This is regular season events. When you get points for an event, that's what I included it, and it's only $20.25. And remember, there really is no entry fees for the elites. Technically, it's $10,000. Even though there isn't any elites, it's a donation. But we're going to call it an entry fee because all the anglers had to do it. So they had a $10,000 entry fee for the whole season, which is about $1,100 every tournament. Whereas the Bass Pro Tour is $6,420. And that's a lot more money. But that extra money that the anglers pay goes back into making sure that the payouts are drastically different and better. But where do the top 10 anglers sit? And how much money do they make? Again, no free events. I also did not include Rookie of the Year or Angler of the Year extra money that you would get. So like, for example, Chris Johnson made $58,500 in tournament winnings. But if I added his Angler of the Year thing, he would have an extra $100,000. Angler of the Year and Rookie of the Year bonuses are not included in this payout. And hopefully I've made that abundantly clear and easy to understand, because even I, now that I'm thinking about it, I am confused. And I'm already second guessing those numbers. But I'm not going to second guess them. I did my best. So how much money did the top 10 anglers make? We're going to look at the elites first. Chris Johnson made $58,500. Trey McKinney made $169,300. Coyote Fujita made $81,500. Jay Shakurat made $77,700. Will Davis Jr. made $59,500. Taku Ito made $50,000. Tyler Williams made $52,500. Patrick Walters made $60,200. Tucker Smith made $152,300. And KJ Queen made $45,600. So the top 10 anglers from the Bass made $808,100 minus $100,000 for entry fees. We're just going to call it entry fees. So their total was that they made for that top 10 was $708,100. That's it. The BPT and Major League Fishing. Jacob Wheeler made $443,000. Jake Lawrence made $288,500. Drew Gill made $243,900. Cole Floyd made $147,600. Alton Jones Jr. made $101,800. Zach Burge made $143,100. Ron Nelson made $134,800. Justin Lucas made $92,200. Brent Ayler made $128,000. And Jeff Sprague made $83,600. So the top 10 anglers for the BPT made $1,806,500 minus $449,400 in entry fees. That's a lot of money. But when it was all said and done, they made $1,357,100. But the top 10 anglers for Bass Pro over the elites made $649,100 more in 2025. Now, they all still had the same amount of expenses. In fact, you might say that the elites might have had more expenses because they had 9 events versus 7. And also, you might say the anglers on the top 10 had more opportunity to win more money because they had 2 more tournaments. And while I think that the elites got a big push with everyone appreciating only having $10,000 for the entry fees, I think when you look at where the money is made and how much more anglers are making on the BPT versus the elites, it makes you almost second guess where anglers should be fishing. Do you want to have no entry fees but still the same amount of expenses versus heavy entry fees and expenses, but you make $650,000 more in the top 10? Now, some will say you look at where you're going to get the most exposure, where you're going to have the best strategic plan to win. Anglers have left BPT to go back to the elites. You're not seeing elite anglers leaving the elites to go to the BPT. First, because the qualification is even tougher than getting into the elites. And the elites and the EQs and the opens is no picnic. It is some really fantastic anglers trying to requalify or even qualify to get into the Elite Series. At the same time, those anglers that are fishing now the pro circuit, trying to get into the BPT, are only 5 because the field is so much different and shrunk on the BPT versus the elites. You have to remember, there's 102 anglers that you're competing against on the Elite Series versus 50 anglers on the BPT next year. And with the additional heavy hitters, Red Crest, and Team Challenge, it gives the BPT anglers a better opportunity to put more money in their bank. And they're doing so being on the BPT. But do you want that exposure that comes with being on the Bass Elite Tour? Or do you want to make money and have a really great time and really fish? And I don't know which one is bigger than which. I will say I think MLF is doing things better. I think that Bass doesn't know their audience. I think the one thing that the BPT does better than anything right now is they know who are watching their tournaments. And they're making the changes to make the fan experience and engagement better. Whereas Bass is kind of stuck, doesn't have an app, does things exactly the same year after year after year. There's a proven formula for their success. But with this new technology and new anglers being attracted into the hobby and sport, they want and view things differently than we have in the past. And unfortunately, I think at times Bass is stuck in the past. And I do think Bass can get back to where they have been. But they need to make drastic changes. And making sure the anglers get paid is the first part of making drastic changes. But what do you think? Which one would you fish if you had the opportunity? If someone just said, here's your card to the elites, here's your card to the BPT, which one would you pick and why? Comment below and tell me what you think. Because there's some strategy on where you would fish. Depends on where the places are going. Depends on money. It depends on a lot of things. The BPT has 7 tournaments versus the elites have 9. You got to think of forward-facing sonar and technology. Where are you in that? Do you like the format with MLF better than you do with the elites? Do you think that the elites is stuck and stubborn and just pigeonholed themselves into a hole and are just trying to dig themselves out? And again, I think the elites can get out of the hole. They have the crew, they have the people, and they have hopefully the right people that will say no at times. Because yes men don't work. Comment below and tell me what you think. Thanks to all the new subscribers and members and everyone who's interactive on this channel. I really, really appreciate it. It is humbling, it's a great experience, and I just can't say thank you enough. But if you're not a subscriber, you should be. Just click that button and click that notification bell so you know when the next video drops. And if you want to, become a member. You'll get to see the videos a lot faster than everyone else. And in most cases, you'll see 5 or 6 videos in one day. That's how it works. I try to film a few videos every time I sit down, all at one time. But again, thank you either way. Thank you for being part of the team. And thank you for being part of my extended family. I really do appreciate it. Remember, take your kid fishing, tight lines, cheers, and get your fish on.